What's going on, guys? Fully here from Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube. We actually have Mike here. Mike is from SUPERLIFT. If you haven't heard of them, I'm not sure where you've been. We actually just put a SUPERLIFT kit on Bailey's truck, who works here. Zach's got a SUPERLIFT kit on his truck. So a couple of guys are in them. We're doing an episode of this or that. So Keaton is behind the camera with the questions. He's going to ask them. We're going to answer them.
Lifted Ranchero or lifted El Camino?
Ranchero. I think I would probably take El Camino.
I'm gonna say El Camino.
Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason the El Camino has a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah.
I think
the old rag top on the back. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd go that far.
Oh, come on, you gotta have the button-down rag top on the back.
I don't know. I just think it's cool because they were like, do you want a car or a truck? Why not both?
True.
Yeah, put like a 454 in there or something like that.
Yeah, lifted El Camino all the way.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep.
SEMA truck or grandpa truck?
Oh. So you actually own a SEMA truck?
I do own a SEMA truck.
Yeah. Well, I guess what do they mean by grandpa truck? Are we talking like it's got a topper on it?
A 1951 Ford F100.
Right.
You know, are we talking 1972 Chevy?
Yeah, I mean.
K10.
There's a lot of ways to spin this.
A lot of ways to spin it.
We always pick on John here and tell him he has a grandpa truck, but he's got, I think it's a 15 Sierra 1500 with a topper on it, which is why it becomes a grandpa truck. But then he's also got Dirt Logic coilovers on it, so it's not like, I feel like a grandpa doesn't have.
Yeah, but you look at some of the Overland trucks.
Right.
They got toppers on it, so they can't really call them a grandpa truck.
Because there's a lot of utility that goes there. John's got the, I don't know what they call it. It's like a bed deck. It slides out and everything like that. Because he uses his truck for ice fishing and towing his boat, and he's got all his gear in there. So like, I like that, if we're gonna call that a grandpa truck, but I guess if it's like a very boring truck, I'd rather have a SEMA
stock
build.
with like an ARE camper.
Because my grandpa has a single cab, long bed, like vinyl seat, crank window pickup.
Like a 19.
He buys a new one like every 2 years, but he has to go to the dealer and special order it with crank windows. He's that kind of guy. So that's what I think of when I think of a grandpa truck. So I'd rather take a SEMA build.
Yep. I've got a SEMA build, so I'm gonna say SEMA build.
And SEMA builds can be so diverse too, because
True.
like it doesn't have to be this giant, 8-inch Power Stroke. Your truck isn't super tall.
No.
It's got a really nice king coilover setup on it with the brand new black diamond stuff.
It was one of the first ones out with the 3M
that
metallic silver or charcoal.
It's a cool wrap color.
So it was one of two at SEMA in 2018. It was one of I think 6 Silverados out there.
Yeah,
in 2018 SEMA show. So
you got the new body style.
Body style. The first one that had bodyguard bumpers.
Yeah.
They were especially built for that truck. So I love my SEMA truck.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
So SEMA truck.
6.0 Chevy or 5.9 Dodge?
I own a 6-liter Chevy, so I'll pick the 6-liter Chevy, and we've got a supercharger on that one back there. So I feel like that's just my answer. I don't know.
I've only had the 5.3s.
Yeah.
In the half tons, but I'd probably take the 5.9. And I'm a GM guy. So now if it was 6.2, I'll take the 6.2.
6.2 is
6.2 over the 5.9 any day.
Throw that in a Denali, or that's a good choice.
2020 Tahoe or 2020 Explorer?
I really like the way the 2020 Explorers look from like an aesthetic standpoint, but I feel like the Tahoe is more of a truck than the Explorer. Did you say Explorer or Expedition?
Explorer.
Yeah, the Explorer is not like the Tahoe is still a truck. It's got a frame. 2021 though, I think I don't know. They might make some changes there. But the Explorer is it's like a crossover SUV almost, just a little bit bigger.
I'd probably take the GM. Although I'm not a big fan of the RS in the rear, which is independent rear suspension. So us suspension manufacturers, we've got applications for.
Yeah. But the bigger you get on a Tahoe or a Suburban, it starts to sway a little bit on the highway. So I love some friends of mine out in Utah have a 3-inch kit on a Suburban, and they're putting pre-runner fenders on it, and it's got some methods on it, and that's sweet. It's a family hauler that you could take to the desert. That I could get on board with, but the Explorer is just not not the same caliber of vehicle.
No, if it's Expedition, be a little bit
Expedition,
different.
yeah, maybe.
I like the new Expedition. It looks nice. But I do like the new Telluride though. That thing is sharp.
It does look really good, except I drove one, was not impressed.
Really?
Yeah. They just don't have enough power.
I'm in the new Blazer. That's nice. But
yeah. You
it's
rented
just
cars
not. It's just not.
Not the same.
Not the same
Not the same.
as a K5 or even the Jimmy. So
2008 F-250 lifted show build or 2008 Ram Cummins 2500 with a built engine?
Depending on what motor that 08 has.
6.4.
Yeah. I'd probably take the F-250.
I think I would too, honestly, just because it's going to look nicer than having. If you got a built motor, that's great, but being a wheel, tire, and suspension company, we like to showcase all that stuff.
One of the things that we actually make at SUPERLIFT for that truck is our King Edition suspension kits, all the way up to an 8-inch kit.
Yeah, and I feel like you have to. When you're an enthusiast that customizes everything you own, I think you got to pick the option that gives you room to build something. So
I've never owned a Dodge. I've only owned Ford and Chevy.
I have not
Or Ford
either.
and GM, I should say.
I have not either.
2020 Black Widow or 2020 Shelby?
Probably gonna hurt somebody's feelings here because I'm actually not a big fan of the Black Widow edition trucks. I feel like they put like cheap lift kits with cheap wheels, and it's not my style. The Shelby has some power upgrades. It gets a little overboard with some of the stickers and like racing stripes that they add, but you could easily take those off. So I think I would go with the Shelby.
It is Carroll Shelby. I mean, that's the name. I mean, Ferrari versus Shelby,
Right,
the movie.
exactly.
But I think in the end, I'm picking the Shelby.
Yeah, I think Shelby's the way to go. The thing with the Black Widow trucks is, so you get a lifted truck, it has wheels and tires and everything on it already, but then it's not really your own. Whereas
No.
if you have the Shelby and then you choose what upgrades you want to make when it comes to suspension and wheels and whatnot, I think you can kind of personalize it a bit more than the Black Widow trucks. Did your microphone fall off?
It did. Stick that back in there. Yeah, definitely Shelby for me.
Yeah.
Chevy 2014 to 2018 or Cateye?
Cateye.
03 to 06.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
The angry, slanty eyes.
There's a couple ways around this question for me. Is it two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, first and foremost?
Oh.
Most likely 14, 18, I'm taking four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But 03, 06 Cateyes, man, that truck looks great, especially if it's a single cab and it's slammed.
Yeah, that's where like 14 to 18 lifted,
Yes,
for sure.
for sure.
But a Cateye truck, even if it doesn't necessarily have to be lower, but even reverse level
Yes.
and some wide wheels. Okay, is it a 2500? Are we talking the built Duramax in this thing? Because people make some really fast single cab Cateye trucks. And I own an 04, so I guess I'm sort of biased that way, but I don't know. I like the interior stuff better on the 14 to 18. But they tried to do like a retro. 14 to 18 was supposed to look like some other older year Silverado, and I don't think they accomplished that very well because most people don't even know that. So I guess I would pick the Cateye truck.
I'm going to pick 14, 18 because I owned one. I had an
Yeah.
All-Terrain.
Yeah.
Blacked out, had our 8-inch King kit on it. So, but if, I have owned lowered trucks before. Lo and behold, someone from the lifted off-road suspension company. But I grew up in the hot rod business, so my first truck, it was lowered, and it was an 01 S10, and then I went to the Cateyes and lowered a single cab. But if I had to choose it, it would be 14 to 18 lifted.
Bonus question. Would you rather have a shower that keeps you clean for 7 days or a bed that gives you a full night's rest in 1 hour?
Ooh.
I think I would take the bed. I know you work a lot, I work a lot. If I could just go and take a 1 hour nap and then get like a full night's sleep out of that would be awesome. Because a shower doesn't take up that much of my time.
No, it doesn't.
And I feel like I get more of my day back if I only needed to sleep for an hour.
I work nonstop.
Yeah.
And even on the weekends, That's just the way the world works right now.
Yep.
I would take the bed for 1 hour. If it promised me a full night's sleep in an hour, I'd take it.
That would be sweet. I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm just like,
Yep.
yeah, that's where I want to be right now. All right, that's another episode of This or That. Thank you guys for asking the questions. If you want to ask more of them, drop them in the comments below. Mike probably won't be here to do it again in the short-term future, but if you got specific questions that you want to ask Mike or to SUPERLIFT in general, put those in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them. Otherwise, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.